Okay, hopefully my mic works. Hello, everyone. This is the team map, and we are going to talk about our amazing implications of the Impossible World map of game making practices, together with Laura, me, myself, Villa, and the most amazing co-author of ChatGPT. So why we consider this let me explain the rationale behind this. So first of all, we would like to make a map that can help practitioners how the games are actually made around the world to make them to feel acknowledged, to get a grasp of pictures of how things are being differently in practice of game. So we consider that game development always going to be quite similar around the world, but actually it's quite diverse and very multifaceted. So, and also there are lots of game work migration is happening, a lot of immigrants and expatriates moving across the world and also working in a network in remote work conditions. And if so, they also need to to have a grasp of ideas of how the things are very different in between the world. And for the institutional standpoint, it'll also help us to better understand how to organize game workers, and even for example, unionizations of the workers. In which countries that are unionized, what are the organizations out there that could help game workers to work and facilitate and also do some moral supports with each other? Can we have a map of that? So that was also one of our rationale. And also to provide the tips to the practitioners out there. So what are the usual order or structures, the game development process around the world, and in what stage is done, and where can they find some tips on the progress of their game development. So with that in mind, we benchmarked some of the collective map making initiatives out there. And we also have to emphasize that this map is amazingly for practitioners themselves, game development practitioners themselves, and we collect data from themselves as well, how they view and how they interpret their practices in the place that they are currently working at. So we benchmarked a map, for example, the First Peoples map in British Columbia, highlighting the community consent and self-determinations collectively on the map. On the online map right there, and Game Workers Solidarity map highlighting the various events and organizations within the game industry that you can also find that online. So we as a mappers, we put ourselves as facilitators. We facilitate the map that can able to document and analyze multifaceted nature of game development practices across different contexts. And it's a collective making via contributions and consultations with the practitioners. Criteria of the frameworks, informations are created by the researchers, but then also refined it by the practitioners and their community consultations. And then information on this impossible map itself is currently created as a combination of self-reported data of practitioners, and also as well as what is collected from various different type of resources and researchers out there about game development practices. So with that in mind, this is one of what our maps looks like, detailing out the Finnish game development ecosystems. And you can also zoom in to see the webs around the Supercell's web. And there's also Rovio staring at the Sega, marching in towards Finland. Yes, so similar ideas in that. You can also see the presence of game jam culture here, as well as like this area that is connected with the mainland, but there's also, I can see the Migri, which is the immigration service in Finland, trying to bring more talents out there, but like there's also a sea of cultural fit that I can also see from, which was reported by Solid Park's PhD research. And here's another map of South Korean game development ecosystem, where you can also zoom in and zoom out for see more details that are quite situated in a very isolated manner. You can see China, Japan. In between, there's an island called South Korean game industry, but there's also other landscape over there called others, meaning that this landscape is quite limited for insulated view mindset. And you can see the very strong presence of South Korean AAA game companies in the middle, as well as we also have some markings here defining about what are the tools that are used predominantly in the region. You can see Unity, Kakao, Unreal, Google and Apple snarking around this area, and you can see some details out there. So we're looking forward to see more of these collective dynamics maps around the world of game development practices. Oh, just one more slide that I forgot to mention. In this map, there are several frameworks that we have in mind. Amazing work from our collective mindset of our co-authors, as well as amazing co-authors and proofreader, ChatGPT, has been showcasing these framework. Geographical locations, company structures, tools and technologies are some of the frameworks that we have in mind while mapping this various different type of practices around the world.